brilliant speed with vibrant service, vibrant broadband internet.
It's all yours, folks.
Well, thank you so much, Jeff. Welcome to another Vibrant You Live. My name is Bo.
I'm Jane.
And I'm Shane.
And Jeff, we have a question for you. We're going to start off the show with a tough one.
Is this a quiz?
It's
It could
not
be
a
a
quiz.
quiz.
It could be. We'll see how it goes. But
It's not the power quiz, but it's a quiz.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So, can you name any smart home devices that you have or have had in the past? Do you have any? Mm-hmm. You do. What do you have?
Let's see. We have several lights.
Okay.
That are Wi-Fi, smarty sort of things.
Cool.
And then our thermostat
Okay.
is set up
Nice.
that way.
Perfect.
That's smart. I don't know. Is Alexa smart?
Yeah. Well,
Depends on what you ask her.
can be.
Yeah.
So I think there's 3 of those around the house.
Cool.
There's quite a few things.
All right. Well, you're doing the show today then.
Yeah, let me tell you about them. No,
That's what we're talking about. We're talking about smart lights and plugs and switches.
Mm-hmm.
And, a lot of these devices are really easy. Just install it yourself. You can buy them on Amazon. You can buy them at Walmart. And some people have 1 or 2 or multiple of them. We're just going to kind of go through. And Jane's going to start us off and to see what smart really means.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So smart is basically, it's something that's communicated or connected to the app or other devices that are using Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. So it's creating basically harmony in your home, and it's kind of a
that's
easier
smart.
lifestyle, right? So these devices are using microchips, sensors, anything that's going to respond to input, learning behaviors, and making decisions, like dimming the lights when you leave
does
the
it
room.
criticize those decisions?
Well,
You had to pay extra for that feature.
Right. If it'll flash twice.
Oh,
No,
right.
I'm kidding. So an example of this would be if you're in a schedule and you leave a room, that light's going to dim, or if you leave the house, your thermostat might reduce
That's
for
what
the
ours
heat and
does.
that kind of stuff. So it's basically kind of taking over your human behavior and knowing what you're going to do. So Big Brother is watching you in a
Oh
sense.
boy.
Yeah, well, a lot of people have these, and I didn't have them for a long time, and I kind of wondered why you would need them, why you'd want them. And there's quite a few reasons, especially now that I have them, I can see the benefits. But remote control access is the first one. So instead of having to manually flip a switch, you always have your phone on you. So you can use an app, you can use your voice for voice assistant, and you can do some automatic scheduling. So if you want your coffee pot to turn on at 6 a.m., or for me, maybe closer to like 7 a.m., porch lights off at night, those are all things that are part of these smart devices. They have energy efficient monitoring. So if you have a device that's really, sucking a lot of energy, a lot of them monitor that. So you don't have to, go looking for it. It's going to tell you right away. And then it's, grouping in rooms. So you have your living room, your bedroom, your kitchen. These are all things you can make an ecosystem in the house, so you can easily target and turn what you need to turn on when you want it to turn on.
Yeah, do you remember the commercials where you'd clap twice and then the light would go on or
The
turn
clapper.
off? The clapper, right?
Clap on, clap on,
Yeah,
clap
clap
on.
on.
The
Yeah.
clapper.
Well, we've gone way beyond that, right?
Yeah.
That basically was, I suppose you could consider that smart, but it would turn the light on or turn it off. But smart LED bulbs, for example, you can connect them to an app, and you can use them in different spaces. Like I use them in my basement, my garage, where I want just different zones to turn on or turn off. They're already LED lights, so they're going to save you energy in that respect. But they also save energy because you can have them turn on and off at different times or automatically.
Right.
And whereas, let's say you turn a switch on and all the lights come on, you have to remember to turn that switch off. And we'll talk about smart switches a little bit later today in the show. But where lights, you can have them come on automatically at a certain time and then turn off. And then, so it's kind of a set it and forget it. Some of them will allow you to track energy use. So it keeps track of data, so you can kind of see where, I have the lights on here, but I'm not home, at this time, or I could maybe have them turn off a little bit sooner and save all that. And that all adds up in a year.
Yeah.
So, and then a fun aspect of smart LED lights is that some of them you can change colors. So you can have the lights turn red or green or blue. So if you're having a party or something, you can really have fun with that.
And
Or, you
they're
know,
also a safety item, or can be.
yeah, oh, for sure.
When lights come on and keeping
Exactly.
the burglars away. And,
Yeah.
Ooh, there's someone there. The light just came on.
Yeah. And that's, so those are really fun aspects. Do you guys use LED lights?
We do use. I do use LED lights.
Yeah, and LEDs will save energy. How about, and you said you had smart lights, Jeff.
Right? Yep.
So yeah, that's just adds another aspect to that. And while lights are a fun thing too, smart plugs are another way to save energy. And Jane's going to talk about these.
So smart plugs. So I'm in the process of turning everything over into being smart. So I'm kind of excited about all the new stuff. And in fact, before the show, we were kind of talking, I own a Bunn coffee pot, right? So I was thinking, how can I utilize a smart plug with that? Well, first off, if you have a Bunn, you know that's constantly heating your water. So if you use a plug there, you can shut that off for 12 hours out of the day, and then when you're ready to do it, you're ready, and that's going to save a lot
yeah.
of electricity. So
sure.
that's pretty cool. So these are smart plugs are just great for devices, again, like coffee makers, like we were talking about. And then I know Bo, you have a lamp that you guys have been working.
Yeah, those are the one thing that we have. It's right next to the TV. My wife really doesn't like fluorescent lighting on, so most of the time it's dark with a couple lamps on. And instead of having to reach and lamps are always awkward, you have to go under and find where the switch is. We just have a little device you can just turn it on. It's much more convenient.
Perfect.
And we're getting a new garage door, and that garage door is going to have a smart device connected to it, because we've been leaving our garage door open lately.
What?
I know it. It's like,
Come on in. Take what you want.
Exactly. Help yourself. Just come on in, say hi to the dog. It's all good.
Yeah.
But so, and the other thing is, having a plug is also safer. It reduces the risk from shutting off or forgetting things, because heaven forbid.
Right.
if you're-
I use a smart plug to heat the water for I do pour over coffee in the morning. And so I've got a tea kettle. It's a dumb tea kettle, right? I just turn the switch on, but I have it plugged into a smart plug, and I have that plug set to turn off every day at 10 o'clock, right, at night, because I'm not going to be drinking coffee that late. And then I have it automatically turn on at 6:15, and then by the time I get out of bed and get to the kitchen, the water's boiled, and I can start making my coffee.
How about that?
And the plugs that I've purchased, I'm going to use them especially for Christmas stuff. You put I always like night light, so that way
Yep.
if I'm walking somewhere, I'm not going blindly somewhere. So I'll just activate that and turn it on. And so then if we have a change of, like if we're gone or whatever, I'll turn it on longer. Or if I like the ambiance because I'm home, then I'll turn that on instead of, like going up to the light, changing it, plugging it back in, doing all that kind of fancy stuff. I'll just do it controlled by my phone. So
Sure. And I always use them for space heaters, too.
Well, that's
So
a
in the
good
wintertime, every one of my space heaters is plugged into a smart plug, because that way I can, if I forget to turn it off when I leave the room, I can just go on my phone and then, I forgot to turn that off, and turn it off that way.
Yeah. And so smart plugs is one thing, but smart switches are similar, but the way they differ is actually going to control a room rather than just one individual outlet. Because you could, like Jane was mentioning, you plug it into every outlet and you have a control for each one, but if you add that up, you're going to have like 20 different smart plugs. Whereas a smart switch, you can have a living room, a kitchen, your bedroom, and it's great for just timing out, when you want to turn something on, like Jane mentioned, the coffee pot, or a garage door opener, or living room lights. I stayed at my friend's place, and none of the switches worked, the actual traditional switches. So he gave me control of the app on his iPad, and I was trying to figure that out. This is a while back before I was familiar with it, but it was nice. I could dim the lights, I could turn the lights off, voice assistant, or through the app. So it's pretty convenient. And then a lot of people have it set to dim. When dusk happens or dawn, you can have that set to schedule, and it just makes it a lot more convenient. And then garage door opener. You've ever driven away, like Shane mentioned, like, did I close the garage? Did I not? And you have that conversation with yourself to drive all the way, to where you're going. But now you can just close it with your phone. It's super easy. And smart switches just kind of make it all one room rather than having individual plugs. And you guys have smart switches right now?
I use.
I don't yet.
No.
Yeah, I use a smart switch on my garage door opener.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I got 2 garage doors, and I can, either one. You left the door open. Okay, well, hit the button.
Save some gas. You don't have to drive all the way
Right?
back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I don't use smart switches like in an entire room because I've got my lights zoned in my app. But I just haven't figured out where I would use a smart switch outside of the garage door.
My wife tells me we have 2 smart TVs. Does that mean anything?
But that's a little bit different. It's the same. It's it's the same type of concept. Yes.
Is it really? I assume.
Yeah,
it is.
because it hooks up to the Wi-Fi and
I suppose,
it does all that stuff. You can schedule that to turn on and off too, as
Okay.
well. But yeah, so having smart bulbs and switches and plugs it's just a great way to kind of bring your home into the 21st century. My home was built in 1913, right? And it's probably back then there was no wiring.
Probably not.
and then maybe I don't know when it got the original wiring, which was probably covered in horsehair. I don't know how they did the wire casings way back then, but it wasn't.
Horsehair was more the insulation they used.
It did have that too.
Yeah.
We remodeled the kitchen and it was horsehair insulation in that.
Yeah.
And then rewired. I don't know, maybe in the 60s, 70s. I have no idea when it was updated, but now with smart switches and bulbs and lights and that kind of thing, it gives me that convenience that modern houses are kind of built with nowadays.
And these are all easy to install. It may sound complicated, but everyone has a phone that they've hooked up to Wi-Fi at one point or another, or a TV. So it's very similar to that. You plug it in, you can designate what room you want it in, type in your Wi-Fi password, and then you're kind of off and running.
Exactly. And they're all inexpensive. So you can pick up bulbs and plugs for anywhere from $5 to $10 each. It's pretty reasonable. And one thing I will mention to people is that if you start with a brand, kind of stay with that brand so that you're not downloading 2 or 3 different apps and trying to remember which bulb is connected to which app. All of them will also connect with Alexa or Siri, not Siri always, but Alexa or Google Home. And so you can control them with that as well.
Perfect. Well, speaking of horses, but not necessarily the animal, we're talking about ponies and horsepower. So we're going to be out at the American Legion Car and Bike Night tomorrow night. So come on out. We're sponsoring that. Shane and I would love to see you out there. We're going to be giving away some prizes and stuff. And then next Wednesday, we're actually going on the road. We're doing the Dreaming of Streaming, and that's going to be at Paynesville, the Green Roof Community Center, July 23rd, and that's at 5:30. And then if you have any questions about smart devices, smart home stuff, anything with internet, give us a call. We're at 693-3231, or learn more about us at vibrantbroadband.com. Catch us on the replay on Facebook or YouTube channel. Search for Vibrant Broadband and listen live every Wednesday at 10:30 on KLFD.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having us, Jeff. Again, I'm Bo.
I'm Jane.
And I'm Shane.
And tune in next week for another Vibrant You Live.
Brilliant speed with vibrant service. Vibrant broadband internet. Vibrant broadband internet.